what are the feedback loops like you mentioned, that the young lieutenant or sergeant first class that has an innovative solution to an EW threat or whatever it is that they're looking at there at NTC or JRTC. What are the feedback loops to the institutional army to help bring those best practices and to tie it into procurement and so on?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I'm not an expert on how this is going on, but I mean, I'll just give you kind of the advantage of what I'm seeing and what I've learned in the last like 2.5 months. So we've got the stodgy. I shouldn't say that. We've got we've got the Center for Army Lessons Learned. So there's a methodical approach to getting lessons learned, and they brought their the process into the 21st century, actually under a guy named Colonel retired Mike Papel. When he was the call director, he started getting the lessons and the information back out and packaged it so it was made for lieutenants, captains, platoon sergeants, first sergeants, and so there's that little feedback loop, but we're not seeing a lot of activity in it. And then we've got the senior leaders that are like the Forces Command. CG General Garrett is going out to the NTC and to JRTC, and then General Cavolia is staying connected to what's going on in at Hohenfels with the training center there. And you'd be surprised, I haven't been to COG and the CG out at NTC a couple of years ago. There's some pretty brutal, frank discussion on what's working and what's not working, and what problems have yet to be solved. And I would say that it was probably in 2013 that we made that big leap into large-scale ground combat operations rotations, with a few exceptions. But the division commanders and the Force-Com commander, the TRADOC commander, they're going down and they're observing firsthand what's going on. And I can't speak because I haven't seen General Garrett in operation, but when General Abrams and the other commanders, I know for a fact the division commanders, they spend a lot of time observing after action reviews, which I think are probably the most, they're, pardon me, but they're ass whipping when they're going on. And I've been dragged across the coals. I can show you some 3rd-degree burns, but also, that's where you really, peel back the onion and you find out, hey, we got to figure out how to do this. We got to figure out how to do this. And we didn't prepare properly, and you see the changes going on. And commanding generals are watching that. You never know when, because they can toggle between after action reviews. And so I think we've got a lot going on. I'm kind of concerned. I think we had one combat training center at each of the 2 CONUS locations, for the right reasons, shut down. But when we get those back up and running, that's really the vehicle, I believe, for driving change and requirements in the Army.